Dear European citizens, Bulgarian citizens, Slovak citizens, we are here today in the European Parliament at the heart of the European democracy to speak about something that's happening behind the scenes. I'm here with my colleague from Slovakia, Milan Mazurek, and we will unveil some of the secrets that the bureaucracy is trying to push here in Brussels that are already taking place in directives, in different books and ideologies. And I'm sure it will be very interesting because it's something new. It's even called novel food. We will speak about regulation, about food, and about what Brussels think that we should be doing with this. Milan.
Thank you very much for this kind invitation and this opportunity, Rada, and for the introduction of these very important topics, because what we will speak about today, it's a situation which can cause maybe a lot of problems, but will impact the life of every citizen of the European Union, and people maybe don't even know about it.
Yes, this is often the case with European regulations because very frequently they're regulated, they're discussed between closed doors, and then they come to our national parliament, to our country. Do you know how many of our laws are made here? I think it's about 80%.
No? Yes, it depends on the country, but for example, in Slovakia, how I remember from the national parliament, it was more than half of all the laws which were passed in the national parliament, and they were created here in the European Parliament at first.
Exactly. So this is where the lives of our European citizens, Bulgarian, Slovak, German, are regulated and formed here in the European Parliament. And today we have something interesting because it's a topic that we have to do every day. It's about nutrition, it's about food. So the European Commission decided to pass a regulation, a directive that will be transposed directly into national law to allow the composition of nutritious food like flour, like different ingredients, and to allow up to 4% of worms, of insects. This is very strange for Europe. I know this is the case in Asia or in different countries that it's relatable to culture, but I think for us it's quite a particular choice. Just a very small group maybe enjoy or approve this, but now it's mainstream.
It's a very important topic, as I said, and when we are speaking about the food, about the structure of what we eat in our daily life, it's very important to know what we are eating in reality, because when somebody is buying a product and he's thinking, yes, I have this nice cake, this bread, this flour, and he even don't know that parts or maybe most of that product is made from insects, from the floor worms or from grasshoppers or any other insect bugs or something like that, then the people should be aware. Because this is the new regulation which we are talking about. And as you said, maybe in some cultures, on some other part of the world, it's a usual common thing to do. But in the European history, we don't, even during the famine times, we don't have recorded examples of eating the worms, eating the insects to maintaining our life abilities to survive. And right now the European Union say to us, okay, it's good for your health, it's sustainable, and you should do that. You should eat insects instead of real flour, instead of, for example, meat or any other products, and we are talking even about the dairy products.
Yes, and because this is so sensitive and so different for Europeans, we would think that this will be very visible on the product. But actually, that's not the case. In the regulation, we have the regulation here. It is regulation number 2025/89. You can check it. If you don't believe us, this is real European directives and law. We are here. We are members of European Parliament. This is what we do. This is not fake news. So in this regulation, there is no label on the front. There is just a maybe small label in the back of the product, but in the front of the package, you don't know, it's not clear that you are going to have some worms, insects in your food. Can you imagine? This is scandalous.
Yes, this is scandalous, and a lot of people, of course, when they are going shopping, they go shopping, they don't have enough time to study all the labels in the most little details to know that there are no insect parts of this product or something like that. Of course, people would not know about it because they have their own duties. They have families, they have work, they need to care about their children. So they are not able to spend so many hours in the shop to read every label possible on every one product. And when the European Union is doing it like that, people maybe will not even know that they are eating insects in their own products. And from our perspective, I believe it's a common thing for both of us, we should give the people right to be informed that this product contains parts made from insects. I don't know, 5%, 4%, 2%. They should be informed about it on the front side of the label with big sign that will say to them, yes, this product contains insect parts.
I cannot agree more. And we have to have the facts. This European Commission, this European Union, since February 2025 allows 4% of worms. This is real news. This is real European democracy, as they call it. And I'm thinking, why are they doing this? Is this somehow cheaper? Is this better? Are we going to save somebody like the planet? Or what is the reason? I don't know. What do you think? Because they also send us different books to kind of they call it novel food. This is one thing they call novel food, and they also go into meat, into things that people actually like to consume in Europe.
We need to understand that if they want to use these floor worms, they need to UV treat this product to be safe. So it's not safe at first, and even this only fact should create some kind of awareness for the people that it's not absolutely great to eat something like that, but we respect the freedom. If somebody wants to eat something like that, he should have a right to do that.
Yes.
But the people should have all the necessary information. And when we are talking about the possible reason why they are promoting that, why they are pushing that so hardly, they are always talking about sustainability. You saw that in the papers, in all the promo materials, and maybe in this kind of, from my perspective, really crazy book. And they are trying to push this kind of agenda and say that if we will change structure of our food, our habits, and what we eat at all, then we can save the planet. But from my perspective, this is not some kind of scientific approach. It's not some kind of scientific-based fact. It's just a propaganda of the people who want to take our own rights to decide in our daily life what we want to eat. You know, they are going into the basic abilities of our decisions. They are going into the basic aspects of our daily decision makings and trying to say us that we are doing it for your own sake, for your own good. But this is not the reality. This is not true.
This is what this type of European Commission looks like, and it believes that it has the authority, the power to choose and to direct how people lead their lives. And the idea of novel food, as you said, it can be a personal preference. Maybe somebody wants to go to this special shop, somebody wants to be vegan. We are for the freedom of choice. But in this particular instance, this will be in the product. It will not be clearly indicated. So I find this really, really off everything that I can imagine in this European Union. And the thing that they're also pushing with cultivated meat that is not real, they assume this is better. They try to make the argument this is better for the environment, but actually it's quite expensive. It costs more than 20 euro per kilogram to cultivate and actually to sell the end product. So this is an agenda that's going also in the pockets of our citizens.
They want to distinct us from the nature as most as possible, to make from us some kind of, I think, slave-minded people, because when they are promoting the artificial made meat from a laboratory, we are talking about totally changing the structure of our life from not only hundreds of years of perspective, but millennials. It's something what it was unimaginable a few years ago, what the European Union is promoting right now. And from my perspective, I think, as you said, people should have the right for free choice. If they want to eat laboratory-made meat and pay more for that, as you said, or they want to eat some kind of insect, they have to have a right to do that. But when you hear some of the European Parliament members who are openly speaking about the increasing of the taxation of meat products, of dairy products, of eggs, because they believe all of those products are bad for human health or they are bad for the planet, and we should promote more of these kind of sustainable, quote-unquote, sustainable alternatives, then this is an attack of our freedoms. This is an attack to our rights, and we should not let them to do something like that, to increase our spending, to increase our prices for the basic food products only because of their ideology. Do you agree with me?
This is exactly ideology, and this has nothing to do with freedom of choice, and this has nothing to do with democracy. So we really want to bring to you the real information, the things that are being decided here that you will not find in our main sessions of the news and in our mainstream media. So we find these topics very important. We are representatives of the newest political parliamentary group in the European Parliament, Europe of Sovereign Nations. We would like to have sovereign decisions for our nations, for our citizens, and I would encourage our viewers to comment, to tell us what would they like to see in the future, what kind of topics, and to let us know if they agree with these directives, if they're looking forward to insects in their food or not.
I have to ask you, would you eat something like that? Something like worms, some kind of insects, or maybe this artificial made laboratory meat?
You know, the problem is we wouldn't even find out because of the European Commission.
So you are eating it and you even don't know it. But I have maybe one important and good proposal for both of us. We can promise to our voters in our countries, even on the national political level, that we will propose laws which will make for the food producers who are using this kind of additives, this kind of insects into their foods, make it obligatory for them to label it on the front side of the label of every product with, for example, big picture of some kind of bug, and they will, with this, inform every customer that this product which you are going to buy right now contains insects or some parts made of insect processed product.
This is the only responsible decision to do and solution. I believe we can do it in our own countries, which are more or less still having the common sense, but in this European Parliament everybody will vote except 2 or 3 of the so-called right-wing groups for the insects.
Yes, I see it when we sit in the plenary of European Parliament and listening to some of the debates, and when the people from groups like the Left or Greens or Renew even talking about these issues, they are openly saying that European Union should take the rights of the citizens in cases of meat, of dairy, of eggs, in their effort to protect the planet, to save the climate. But even if we take all of their CO2 agenda, even if we take all of that climate agenda intake, we have to admit that Europe and contribution of Europe into the all world CO2 production is absolutely a fragment in comparison to other parts of the world, and mainly in comparison with countries in South America, China, India and other countries which are polluting the environment so hardly, like rivers, seas, oceans, forests. And even if we in the European Union would kill all the cows, all the sheep, all the goats, we will not save the planet by their own standards.
this is it. This is complete ideology, and it is something that is not even realistic in its aim. So this is typical of this European Commission. And to find out more about future initiatives, I would encourage our viewers to follow this kind of podcast that we can provide from them right here from the European Parliament.